Hello friends, welcome to Physics Live channel. Today we are discussing about the partial differentiation theoretical section of H.K. Das Mathematical Physics. So, introduction of partial differentiation. Area of a rectangle depends upon its length and breadth. Hence, we can say that area is a function of two variables. That means its length and breadth. Okay. That is, area of a rectangle depends upon length and breadth, and we can say that area is a function of two variables, length and breadth. Z is called a function of two variables x and y if Z has one definite value for every pair of values of x and y. Symbolically, it is written as Z is equal to f of x comma y. So it means Z is equal to f of x comma y means a function of two variables x and y. Z is a function of two variables x and y. The variable x and y are called independent variables while Z is called dependent variable. X and y are called independent variables and Z is called dependent variable. Similarly, we can define Z as a function of more than two variables. So here it is an example. Z is a function of x and y. We can say Z is a function of xy and xy comma z or any other more than two variables. Okay. Geometrically, let Z is equal to f of x comma y where x comma y belongs to an area A of xy plane. For each point x comma y corresponds a value of z. These values of x comma y comma z form a surface in space. Hence, this function z is equal to f of x comma y represents a surface. So, the geometrical meaning of z is equal to f of x comma y means it represents a surface. Okay. And what do you mean by limit? A function f of x comma y is set to tend to the limit L as x tends to a and y tends to b if and only if the limit L is independent of the path followed by the point x comma y as x tends to a and y tends to b. Then the mathematical representation of limit is limit x tends to a, y tends to b, f of x comma y is equal to L. Okay, so as x tends to a and y tends to b, the function which is equal to L. The function f of x comma y in region R is said to tend to the limit L as x tends to a and y tends to b if and only if corresponding a positive number belongs to a comma b, there exists another positive number delta such that modulus of f of x comma y minus L less than belongs to 4, 0 less than x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square less than delta square for every point x comma y in R. Next, we are going to the working rule to find the limit. So, to find the limit, we are following some steps. That is, step 1, find the value of f of x comma y along x tends to a and y tends to b. And find the value of f of x comma y along y tends to b and x tends to a. If the values of f of xy in step 1 and step 2 remains the same, the limit exists, otherwise not. If step 3, that is if a tends to 0 and b tends to 0, find the limit along y is equal to mx or y is equal to mx raised to n. If the value of the limit does not contain m, then exist. If it contains m, the limit does not exist. Okay, so we have three conditions there. That is, to find the limit, we are following some methods. That is, if x turns to a and y turns to b, then we find the function f of x comma y. That is, put the value x equal to a, then y is equal to b. After the next step, we are going to y is equal to b and then x equal to a, then find the function f of x comma y. So the first and second step, the function are equal, means the limit exists. Okay, otherwise it does not exist. If you consider a turns to 0 and b turns to 0, find the limit along y is equal to mx or y is equal to mx raised to n. If the value of the limit does not contain m, then limit exists. If it contains m, limit does not exist. So here in example, put x equal to 0 and then y is equal to 0 in f. Find its value f1. Okay, this is the simplest language of the previous things. That is, if you put x equal to 0, then y is equal to 0 and find the function, and it is named as f1, and then y is equal to 0, then x equal to 0 and find the value f2. And if f1 is not is equal to f2, the limit does not exist. If the two functions are equal, then we are putting y is equal to mx and find limit f3, and f1 is equal to f2 does not is equal to f3, the limit does not exist. If they are equal, we are going to the next step, that is y is equal to mx square, and find the limit, and it is named as f4. And if they are do not equal with the f1, f2, f3, and the limit does not exist there, and they are equal, the limit exists. So first method, we are putting y is equal to 0, then x equal to 0, and the next step, first y is equal to 0, then x equal to 0, and find the functions, and then put y is equal to mx. If they are equal, we are continuing the process. Okay, and y is equal to mx square also we are substituting, and if they are equal, it is the limit exists. Okay, the first example, in which evaluate limit x turns to 0, y turns to 0, x square y divided by x power 4 plus y square, in which we are substituting x equal to 0 first, and we get 0 for f1, and then we are giving y is equal to 0, then we get the function f1 is equal to 0. After that, next we are going to give y is equal to 0 first, then x equal to 0. So f1 and f2 are same for this case, and then y is equal to mx, substitute there. So substituting y is equal to mx, and we are giving as x turns to 0, and f3 also same to the previous functions. So f1 is equal to f2 is equal to f3. So we are going to the next, that is y is equal to mx square. So for that, we are substituting there, and then we are giving the x turns to 0 condition. For this case, we get m in the limit, the m in the function value, so it does not same with the previous functions, so the limit does not exist. So this is the method we are following here. First, we are giving the limit of x, then y. Second, we are giving first y value and then x value, and we are checking the functions. Then if they are equal, we are continuing the process by giving y is equal to mx, then y is equal to mx square, like that. Next, we are going to describe what is continuity. A function f of x comma y is said to be continuous at a point a comma b if the limit of the function which is equal to the function. Okay, so limit x comma y turns to a comma b, f of x comma y is equal to f of a comma b. A function is said to be continuous in a domain if it is continuous at every point of the domain. Okay, it is a very important statement, that is, a function is said to be continuous in a domain if it is continuous at every point of the domain. So what is the working rule for continuity at a point a comma b? Okay, for that we are first doing, that is, f of a comma b should be well defined. Okay, then we are checking the limit if it is exist or not, that is, limit x comma y turns to a comma b, f of x comma y should exist. Then these are should be equal. Okay, limit x comma y turns to a comma b, f of x comma y, that's equal to f of a comma b. So we are checking the continuity at a point a comma b means the function which is well defined at the point and the limit exists for that point, and these are equal for the function. Example we are giving, that is, test the function f of x comma y, that's equal to x cube minus y cube divided by x square plus y square when x naught is equal to 0 and y naught is equal to 0, and 0 when x equal to 0, y is equal to 0 for continuity. So we are checking the function continuous at a point 0 0. So we are finding that a function which is well defined at 0 0. Yes, the function is well defined at 0 0, and we are checking the limit by using the previous step, and we are putting y is equal to mx here, and we are checking the function, and we are giving we getting the function as a 0. Okay, the limit of that function at 0 0 is equal to 0, so the function is always 0. So the function are the limit of the function at origin, that's equal to the value of the function at origin. That means the function is continuous at the origin. So to check the continuity, we are checking the function which is well defined at the point or not, and then checking the limit, and if they are same, the function which is continuous at the point. Okay, next section which is going to discuss about the type of discontinuity. Type of discontinuity, first kind, that is, a function is said to have discontinuity of first kind at the point x equal to x1 if right limit f of x1 plus 0 and left limit f of x1 minus 0 exist but are not equal. The function limits are exist but they are not equal. So that means the first kind discontinuity. What do you mean by second kind discontinuity? F of x is to have discontinuity of a second kind at x equal to x1 if neither right limit f of x1 plus 0 exists nor left limit f of x1 minus 0 exist. Okay, they are not exist. Right and left limits are not exist there. Third kind, that is mixed discontinuity. F of x is said to have mixed discontinuity at the point x equal to x1 if only one of the two limits, right limit f of x1 plus 0 and left limit f of x1 minus 0 exist and not the other. Okay, any one of the right and left exist, other is not exist there, or left limit exists, the right limit does not exist there. The figures which give you the correct explanation. It is very simple to find the discontinuity and to identify the discontinuity. Okay, and what is meant by fourth kind discontinuity, that is known as infinite discontinuity. F of x is said to have infinite discontinuity at the point x equal to x1 if either one or both limits, right limit and left limit, f of x1 minus 0 and f of x1 plus 0 is infinite. If both limits do not exist and if f of x1 plus or minus h oscillates between limits, one of which is infinite, as plus or minus h turns to 0, it is also a point of infinite discontinuity. So that means here the left or right limits they are infinite or both infinite. Okay, so we cannot say they are continuous. They are discontinuous graphs, discontinuous functions are there. And next, the fifth kind, that is removable discontinuity. If right limit f of x1 plus 0 is equal to the left limit f of x1 minus 0 is not equal to the function values here, the function value here and the right and left limit, they are equal, but the function value which is not equal with the limit values, and these type of discontinuity is called removable discontinuity. The limits are same, but the function value which is different from that of the limit value, which is called removable discontinuity. So, what do you mean by actually partial derivative? Z is equal to f of x comma y be the function of two independent variables x and y. If we keep y as constant and x varies, then z becomes a function of x and x only. The derivative of z with respect to x, keeping y as constant, is called partial derivative of z with respect to x, and it is denoted by symbols dou z by dou x, dou f by dou x, and f of x, x comma y, etc. So, what do you mean by partial derivative? We are keeping a variable as a constant and we are checking a derivative of the function with respect of one variable. Okay. So here dou z by dou x, dou f by dou x, fx are the representation of these partial derivatives. So how to, that is dou z by dou x is equal limit delta of x turns to 0 f of x plus delta of x comma y minus f of x comma y divided by delta x. The process of finding the partial differential coefficient of z with respect to x is that of ordinary differentiation, but with the only difference, that is we treat y as constant. That is, what is the difference between partial differentiation and ordinary differentiation? That is, only the difference is we are keeping a variable one as constant, other is not. Okay, so here the next we are giving, that is partial derivative function with respect to y, that is dou z by dou y and dou f by dou y, f of y x comma y. These are the representation of a function with respect to y partial derivative, and this is the equation for it. Okay, and we can represent like this. Okay, so one example here we are giving, that is if u is equal to sin inverse x by y plus tan inverse y by x, then find the value of x dou u by dou x plus y dou u by dou y. So we are considering u is equal to sin inverse x by y plus tan inverse y by x. How to find dou u by dou x? So we are finding the partial derivative of u with respect to x. So we are keeping y as constant. So sin inverse, that is equal to 1 by under root 1 minus a square. So 1 minus a square means x by y whole square, and x by y in which y is constant, so that means 1 by y, plus 1 by tan inverse derivative, that is 1 by 1 plus x square. So here in the place of x there is y by x, so y by x whole square, and the derivative of y by x as y is constant, that is minus y by x square, and after simplifying we get like this. Okay, dou u by dou x. Next we are going to partial derivative of higher orders. Let z is equal to f of x comma y, then dou z by dou x and dou z by dou y be the functions of x and y can further be differentiated partially with respect to x and y. Okay, so we can further differentiate the functions, that is the partial derivatives of higher order can be possible. That is, we can further differentiate the derivatives, that is symbolically dou by dou x of dou z by dou x, that is dou square z by dou x square, or dou square f by dou x square, or fxx. Fxx means the double derivative of a function with respect to x. Similarly, yx f xy. Okay, so this is very simple to remember. It is very simple to identify what is the representation of that is a function of derivative with respect to x and y. This is y and x, this is xx. Okay, next we are discussing about the homogeneous function. A function f of x comma y is said to be homogeneous function in which the power of each term is the same. A function f of x comma y is a homogeneous function of order n if the degree of each of its terms in x and y is equal to n. Thus, if you are considering a homogeneous equation, the function equation is like this: a0 x power n plus a1 x power n minus 1 y plus a2 x power n minus 2 y square plus etc. to a n minus 1 x y power n minus 1. So we are considering here, that is the power, the degree of each of its term x and y is equal to n. So if the homogeneous function of order n means the degree of its each term will be n, that is here degree is n, here x power n minus 1, here y uh, raised to 1. So the total degree, that is n minus 1 plus 1, that is n. So here each term follows this degree n, and that means a homogeneous function of order n. Okay, so here we can say this is a homogeneous function of order 3. So here you can check, that is xy terms, each term follows a order of 3. Okay, what is meant by Euler's theorem on homogeneous function? If z is a homogeneous function of x and y of order n, then x into dou z by dou x plus y into dou z by dou y, that's equal to nz. So this is very important, Euler's theorem on homogeneous function. X into dou z by dou x plus y into dou z by dou y, that's equal to nz. Okay, so we have proof for this. So how to find this how to verify this Euler's theorem? So here z is equal to x power 1 by 3 plus y power 1 by 3 divided by x power 1 by 2 plus y power 1 by 2. So how to find the homogeneous order of this homogeneous function? So we can take x power 1 by 3 here and x power 1 by 2 here. So the equation like this, and we can say that is x power minus 1 by 6, okay, of phi of y by x, that is a function of y by x and which follows x power minus 1 by 6. Okay, and this homogeneous function of degree minus 1 by 6. And what do you mean by the Euler's theorem in homogeneous function? That is x into dou z by dou x plus y into dou z by dou y is equal to minus 1 by 6 into z. So we can find dou z by dou x and dou z by dou y, and you can simplify it and find the theorem as it is verified. Okay, here next question, in which u is equal to cos inverse of x plus y divided by root x plus root y, in which we should show that this equation. So for that we are considering it is a function of homogeneous function, and so for that u is not a homogeneous function. We know that the degrees are different, so we are considering z is equal to cos u and u is equal to cos inverse z, and we are considering like this, and we take x outside, here root x outside, and it is x power half of half into a function of y by x, and it is a homogeneous function of xy of degree half, and we can follow the Euler's theorem, that is x into dou z by dou x plus y into dou z by dou y, that's equal to half z, and we find that is dou z by dou x, and that is find there, that is dou z by dou x means dou z by dou u by dou x. Dou u by dou x is here, that is dou z by dou u, that is minus sin u, y dou u by dou x, dou u by dou y minus sin u, that's equal to half into cos u. From that we can say that is sin u here, and that is equal to minus of half cot u, and we get that is verified and proved.